Safety is one of the most undervalued positions in the NFL. And we typically see them fall in the draft, and I don't think we're going to see that this year. We could see very well maybe 2, even maybe 3 safeties in the first round. I'm going to give you my top 10 safeties, and if you want to see my full rankings, go ahead to ftfn.com. The link will be in the description below. It'll also be in the pinned comment. Yeah, and while you're at it, go ahead, follow FTFN on YouTube and Twitch. But before we get into the list, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Baroshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. I really implore you to do that. I know some of y'all haven't already, but hey, it's free to subscribe, and you can drop me whenever you want, just like my first 2 wives. Susan. Go ahead and actually leave a thumbs up as well. It helps the video out a ton. Your support is much appreciated, much obliged. I will have a 7-round NFL mock draft coming out Monday. You're going to get 2 videos. You're going to get the first round mock draft, and then you're going to get basically the next video is going to be the draft classes for each team. That way it's kind of easy to digest, and you can just kind of go to your team and see who I had them picking. As well as the wide receiver rankings will be out tomorrow. And if you haven't already, go ahead and download the Flick Sports app. It's basically sports Discord. I'm on there at the Never Too Early Draft, so link in the description. Go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this safety class. I'm going to start with a very difficult name, Ifatumele. Hopefully I nailed it. His older brother actually played in the NFL, and I'd say he possesses similar, at least Ifatu, he possesses similar athletic traits as his brother, but he's been used more in a versatile manner in coverage at Syracuse. He's played a majority of his snaps actually as an outside corner, but he has played in the box. He's played a little deep, but not much. And I think actually his skill set is better for safety. That's why I'm listing him here as a safety prospect. But with his size, that athletic ability, like I said, I think he could do extremely well at safety. I like how he breaks on the ball and just disrupts at the catch point. You could see that just in his game. He actually had for the most part, a pretty solid game this past week against Clemson. He could be a better processor when it comes to just processing plays, but the guy has been a playmaker his whole career, registering 2 interceptions and 19 pass breakups. Like I said, and you know what, with his size, I'd like him to be a better run defender, but again, I'm a sucker for guys in coverage. It's a passing league. And then at 9, Caden Stephens out of Texas. This guy, he's got the ideal size, length. He's got the physical tools that make all the scouts drool. They love what Stearns brings to the table. Kind of his tool set is reminiscent of guys like Jamal Adams and Derwin James. So the thing with him is he really lacks instincts and physicality. He really takes bad angles against the run. He really just can't shed blocks. And when it comes to coverage, he just hesitates too long when he really needs to react to plays. Doesn't really have that aggressiveness to kind of break when he sees a play unfold. He kind of hesitates. I mean, it's kind of the problem with the Texas secondary, man. The Texas secondary, they don't play too well. So right now, he's kind of in an awkward position. Is he a box safety that can't play the run? Or is he a deep safety that will get beat at times because his instincts just aren't along yet? But his elite traits it'll get him drafted at least in day 2. And I could see this guy very good coaching. He could be pretty darn good at the next level. I mean, we saw Brandon Jones go at the end of the 3rd round, so very possible for Stearns. Or Darius Washington coming here at 8. And I'm still really high on the guy here. Size is obviously the thing that hurts him. He's only 5'8", 179. But we've seen some smaller safeties do very well for themselves in the NFL. The Honey Badger, he's 5'9", 174, and he's carved out a pretty solid, I guess, position for himself in the NFL. Now, this guy, he's a solid tackler. He showed phenomenal ball skills in 2019. He only allowed 5 catches last season. He hasn't been his spectacular self here in 2020, but still, the guy, he's special. He's very quick and agile, and maybe some of the best instincts in this class. I would rate him higher if his 2020 was going a little bit better, but with that and his size, I think he kind of falls into this second or third round area. Then Paris Ford out of Pittsburgh here at 7, a guy that's kind of I want to move up my list further, but the more I watch him, the more I think he's probably going to be a slot guy. That just seems to be his projection. I kind of comp him to LaMarcus Joyner from the Raiders, which I know he hasn't been great since joining the Raiders, but he was pretty darn good with the Rams. So this guy, he's in his second season at safety, and he looks way more comfortable. He's very reactionary, and it's just that he has that style that fits best in the slot. You like those guys that are reactionary in the slot. He's cleaned up his tackling because he wasn't that good at tackling in 2019. He would often go for the hit stick, and at your size, you don't want to be going for the hit stick. But he's wrap it up now. I applaud you, my friend. But again, I just think his style it's a slot corner. I mean, you could put him at box safety. I mean, that's kind of what Joyner does. So Paris Ford, a guy I'm really high on. He's definitely going to be a day 2 guy at the very least. And then I got Richie Grant from Central Florida. I like this kid a lot. He's got some of the best movement skills of any safety in this class. And I mean, last season at the Golden Knights, they played him in the slot. He got tore up, just annihilated in the run game, but he's been much better this season in the run, and they're just kind of moving him all around, whether it's the slot, deep safety, or in the box. I really like him as one of the better deep safeties in this class, especially with his ball skills. He has 9 career interceptions. But before we get into the top 5, go ahead and become a bro and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a ton, and like I said, you do it for free. You just hit the red freaking button, like the video, and keep in mind, if you want a good sports Discord, if you want to talk about the draft, I'm on the Flick Sports app. You can check that out in the link in the description below. But let's go ahead, and I got Hamsah Nasir Ildeen out of Florida State. The only reason I have this guy probably at 5, I think he's going to be a linebacker. He's going to be a linebacker that goes maybe somewhere mid to late second round, because I really like his tools for a linebacker, because he's got immense physical tools, and he's very good around the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's very good underneath, and he's very good in the run game. I think he lacks the lateral movement and speed to stay at safety, but this is just my opinion here. He's been slipped into the slot a few times. I think that's a very good way to use him, maybe in the goal line. He's been very good at press, I mean, with his physicality. But yeah, he's yet to play this season for that disappointed Florida State defense due to injuries. So we kind of got to wait. He might fall down the list a little bit if we don't see any of them this year. And then I got Jamie and Sherwood out of Auburn here at 4, man. He's new to the list. A guy that, wow, man, he's 6'2", 220. The dude splits time between linebacker, slot, and safety. So Auburn kind of moves him around a little bit around the line of scrimmage. He's got a great combination of speed, size, length, and athleticism. He is very explosive, especially at 220. It's just kind of wild. And his willingness to come downfield, whether it's to come downfield in the run game or to just undercut routes. I mean, that's rare from safeties. I talked about it with Caden Stephens, where he hesitates too much. There's no hesitation in Sherwood's game. This guy has been actually very consistent for Auburn the last couple of seasons, and he's going to tear up the combine. He definitely, I think, could be a second round pick. He's kind of similar to like a Kyle Duggar or a Jeremy Chin from last season, but he's playing and performing well in the best conference in football, the SEC. At me, Andre Cisco here at 3. things kind of get a little muddied. He ended up hurting his leg during warm-ups. He went, I think he had surgery this past Tuesday, or so a week ago. He was going to be out for the rest of the season. Next day, he decided to opt out to get ready for the draft. And depending on his recovery time, it doesn't look like right now he'd be able to make the NFL Combine. It just seems very unlikely, and that's a shame because this guy would light the Combine up. I think he really needed this. I think if he could have stayed here, he could have been a first rounder. If he was able to play the rest of this season, he could have been a first rounder. But what you like about the guy is he's gotten much better at this year. He was kind of like a high risk, high reward, a boom or bust type of coverage player. Because like what he had 12 picks over the last 2 seasons, but in 2019 he allowed 6 touchdowns in 9 games. So there is that bit of, okay, maybe there's this mental lapse in coverage. He was doing much better at that this season for Syracuse. And this is a guy just with all the athletic and physical tools. It's a really shame to see him go down. But he is a guy with a knack for the big play. He's a ball hawk. And right now I have a 2nd round grade on him. Like I said, highly doubtful he makes the Combine, but if he can and he looks good, ooh, he can maybe sneak in the 1st round. And then Trevon Moehrig here at 2, and honestly, he could be 1 because the dude's got great physical and athletic tools. He's kind of like that. He's ideal for an NFL safety. His instincts maybe not as good as some of the other guys on this list, but by no means are they bad. It's not like he can't read or react to plays. The guy is very good. He was very good in 2019, where he allowed a completion percentage of 32%, a passer rating of 57.8 when targeted, and he's been pretty solid this season as well. He's allowed a completion rate of 50%, and he's yet to miss a tackle. The guy, he's a thumper. He comes down and he literally meets receivers at the catch point and just hammers the ball loose. This guy has a full skill set that the NFL loves, and I could definitely see him getting picked ahead of number 1, Jevon Holland. He's opting out for the season. Quite frankly, probably didn't need the season. The guy's got very, very good skills. His athleticism, some people question if it's good, if they're elite or not. I think there's nothing wrong with his athleticism, but he's got great length. He's always got a hand in the catch point. He played deep safety. His first season as a starter for Oregon was a phenomenal. He played slot a majority last year. Was phenomenal. Again, he's opted out, but this guy's got ball skills, and he's probably one of the best deep. He is probably the best deep safety prospect in this class. But yeah, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. That's always much appreciated. Much obliged. That means you become a bro and subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Again, receivers are out tomorrow, and then 7-round mock draft next week. It's gonna be a ton of fun, but a lot of work. So I hope to see you then. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.